Member from Newmarket, Aurora.
Speaker, to the Minister of Health. In a letter dated January 19th, 2011, that's more than a year ago, the former chair of the Board of Directors of Ornge informed the Minister of Health of the details of the ministry's performance agreement with Ornge and the new business ventures that were being undertaken. That letter confirms that an in-person meeting with ministry officials was scheduled for January 24th, 2011, for the purpose of elaborating on that briefing document. Speaker, will the minister agree to provide us with a comprehensive list of the attendees of that January 24th meeting?
Minister.
Speaker, this weekend I took several hours to actually go to Ornge bases. I went to the Ornge base in Sudbury, Speaker. I went to the Ornge base in London, and I had wonderful conversations with the frontline staff at those bases, Speaker, because I wanted to hear straight from them what was going on. We hear about it in this legislature, Speaker. I wanted to hear from the pilots, from the medics, Speaker, the people who, the mechanics and engineers who look after the aircraft. I wanted to understand this from their perspective, Speaker, how they felt things were going at Ornge. I can tell you, overwhelmingly, they are supportive of the decisions we have made to replace the leadership with people who are listening to their concerns and responding to their concerns, Speaker.
Thank you.
I have to tell you, I urge any other member of the House to visit.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Speaker, it was a very simple question. What is the minister hiding by not letting us know who attended that meeting? Now, Speaker, I just sent a document to the minister, which is a copy of the schematic that accompanied the briefing document that was delivered to the minister more than a year ago. Copies are available for members of the legislature. I would ask the minister to tell us if she wasn't even slightly concerned after seeing the complex web of corporate entities, holding companies, real estate companies, trusts, guarantees, pledge agreements, U.S. corporate entities, head leases, subleases, and charities that are part and parcel of that schematic that she's looking at now. Was that not enough, Speaker, to ring the bells that something devious was going on in this organization?
Speaker, it was precisely...
Order.
Speaker, it was precisely...
Member from Renfrew, come to order. Your warning.
It was precisely because there were concerns raised about the structure of Ornge, about our inability to get information from Ornge, Speaker. The ministry officials had trouble getting information. The Auditor General of the province of Ontario was unable to get information, Speaker. Every request for information was met with a legalistic response. There was not a spirit of cooperation and collaboration that we expect from our providers, Speaker, from our partners in delivering health care. And it is precisely why, after giving the process time to work, it wasn't working. That is exactly why I called in the senior leadership of Ornge and told them to provide us with the information that the tax...
Thank you. New question. New question. Member from Newmarket, Aurora.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Speaker, the Premier insists that the Minister of Health should not be held responsible for her lack of oversight of our air ambulance service because she was lied to. While that may be the case, the performance agreement between the Ministry of Health and Ornge clearly states that the ministry, on behalf of the government, had a standards enforcement and oversight role over the not-for-profit ambulance service of this province. The minister was reminded of that oversight role more than a year ago in that document that she received, and yet no oversight was ever exercised on the part of the Ministry of Health over that ambulance service.
Question.
We want to know why not, Mr. Premier.
Premier.
The Minister of Health.
Minister of Health.
Speaker, I think that there is complete agreement that the original performance agreement did not give us the tools we needed to provide the oversight. Speaker, the Auditor General himself has indicated that the old performance agreement was not strong enough, and he is advocating for a strengthened performance agreement. Unfortunately, Speaker, one of the provisions of the old agreement was that we could cancel the contract with them, but it was a three-year process, Speaker. So clearly, the performance agreement was not strong enough, and that is why we are moving forward with a new one, Speaker, with much stronger oversight. It will allow the ministry, it will require the ministry to approve any change in the corporate structure, Speaker. So this will not happen again.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Speaker, what the minister has just proven is that she has never read that agreement and she doesn't know what's in it. The fact of the matter is that that performance agreement did not give oversight over the for-profit entities. It very clearly states that it does have oversight over the not-for-profit sector of the air ambulance service. My question is this. That briefing document of more than a year ago was copied to the Premier's Principal Secretary and 2 of the Premier's policy advisors, the 3 most trusted advisors to the Premier. It was also copied to the Deputy Ministers of Finance, Health, Infrastructure, Economic Development and Trade, the Director of Emergency Health Services. Not one person amongst that entire list clued into the fact that this organization was out of control and that someone in the chain of command should sound the alarm. I ask the Premier again, if he doesn't want to hold the Minister of Health accountable, who will he hold accountable?
Minister. Seated, please. Be seated, please. Member from Oxford, come to order.
I accept full responsibility for fixing the problem that has been revealed, Speaker. I do have the performance agreement here, Speaker. It's 150 pages long, and what I can tell you is that the Auditor General, the member from Newmarket Aurora might not trust me on this, Speaker, but I do believe he trusts the Auditor General, Speaker. The Auditor General is advocating for a much stronger new performance agreement. He is on record as saying the existing one does not give the required oversight, Speaker.
Answer.
I'll take it from the Auditor General before I'll take it from the member from Newmarket.
Thank you. Question.